Henri Matisse was one of the most influential and innovative artists of the 20th century. Born in 1869 in France, he did not begin his artistic journey at a young age, like many other famous painters. In fact, he first studied law and worked in a legal office. However, after an illness led him to discover painting, his life changed completely. What started as a simple hobby soon became his true passion and lifelong career. Matisse became widely known for his bold use of bright, expressive colors and his ability to simplify forms without losing emotion or meaning. He believed that art should bring balance, joy, and calmness to the viewer. Instead of focusing on realistic details, he used strong colors and flowing lines to express feelings. This approach made him one of the leading figures of the Fauvism movement, a style characterized by vivid colors and energetic brushstrokes. Throughout his career, Matisse constantly experimented with new techniques. In his later years, when he was ill and could no longer paint easily, he created stunning paper cutouts, proving that creativity has no limits. His artistic rivalry and friendship with Pablo Picasso also pushed him to grow and develop new ideas. Today, Henri Matisse is remembered as an artist who transformed modern art. His works continue to inspire millions of people around the world with their color, energy, and emotional depth. Fact 1. Birth and early life, 1869. Henri Matisse was born on December 31st, 1869, in the small industrial town of Le Cateau-Cambrésis in northern France. At the time, the town was known for its textile and grain industries rather than art or culture. Matisse grew up in a practical, hard-working middle-class family. His father, Henri Matisse, worked as a grain merchant, while his mother, Anna-Eloise Gérard, assisted in the family business and had a talent for painting ceramics. It was his mother who first introduced him to colors and artistic expression, unknowingly planting the seeds of creativity in her son's mind. As a child, Matisse did not immediately show signs that he would become a revolutionary artist. His early life was quite traditional and structured. He attended school like other children in the town and was expected to pursue a stable and respectable profession. The environment around him was simple, disciplined, and focused on business rather than imagination. However, growing up in this calm and modest setting may have helped him later develop his deep appreciation for harmony, balance, and simplicity in art. Northern France during the late 19th century was socially and politically changing. The country was recovering from wars and entering a new industrial age. Although Matisse's hometown was far from Paris, the artistic heart of France, the cultural transformation happening in the country would eventually influence his path. It is fascinating to think that a boy born in such an ordinary place, far from galleries and famous artists, would later move to Paris and challenge traditional art with bold colors and radical ideas. His birth in 1869 placed him at the turning point between the 19th and 20th centuries, a period when art was about to change dramatically. This timing was significant because Matisse would grow up during an era of innovation, experimentation, and the birth of modern art movements. From these humble beginnings in a quiet French town, Henri Matisse began a journey that would transform him into one of the most influential artists in history. Fact 2. From law student to artist. Before becoming a world-famous artist, Henri Matisse followed a completely different path. As a young man, he moved to Paris to study law, following his family's wishes for a stable and respectable career. After completing his studies, he worked as a law clerk in a legal office. At that time, art was not his main focus, and nothing suggested that he would one day change the direction of modern painting. However, his life took an unexpected turn in 1889 when he became seriously ill with appendicitis. During his long recovery at home, His mother gave him a paint box to help pass the time. What began as a simple activity to fight boredom quickly turned into a life-changing discovery. Matisse later described this moment as a kind of awakening. He felt a deep passion and excitement that he had never experienced before. He realized that painting brought him happiness and a sense of freedom that law never could. Despite his father's disappointment and uncertainty about this risky career choice, Matisse decided to leave law behind and fully dedicate himself to art. He returned to Paris, but this time to study painting at art academies, including the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts. This bold decision required courage, as the life of an artist was financially unstable and uncertain. This dramatic change from law to art shows how unexpected events can transform a person's destiny. If he had never fallen ill, the world might never have known Henri Matisse as one of the greatest artists of the 20th century. Fact 3. Leader of Fauvism. Henri Matisse became one of the main representatives and leaders of Fauvism, an early 20th century art movement known for its bold, bright, and non-naturalistic use of color. The word Fauvism comes from the French term les fauves, meaning the wild beasts. Critics gave this name to the group after seeing their shocking and intensely colorful paintings at the 1905 Paris Salon d'Automne exhibition. The colors were so strong and unexpected that many people were surprised and even confused by them. Unlike traditional painters who tried to copy real life exactly as it appeared, Matisse believed that color did not need to be realistic. For example, he might paint a face green or a sky red if it helped express emotion. For him, color was not just decorative. It was a powerful tool to communicate feeling, energy, and mood. He simplified shapes, used strong outlines, and focused more on emotional impact than fine detail. Matisse's painting Woman with a Hat, 1905, became one of the most famous examples of Fauvism. When it was first displayed, many critics reacted negatively because the colors were unrealistic and intense. However, this bold approach marked the beginning of a new artistic freedom that influenced modern art deeply. As one of the leaders of Fauvism, Matisse helped open the door to future movements, such as Expressionism and other forms of modern art. His fearless use of color changed the way artists thought about painting and proved that art could be expressive, emotional, and imaginative rather than simply realistic. Fact 4. Use of strong and vibrant colors. Henri Matisse was famous for his powerful and vibrant use of color. Unlike many traditional artists who carefully mixed colors to make them look realistic, Matisse chose bright, pure, and sometimes unexpected colors to create emotion and energy in his paintings. He believed that color was one of the strongest tools an artist could use to express feelings. For Matisse, colors were not meant to copy nature exactly. A tree did not have to be green, and the sky did not have to be blue. Instead, he used color to show mood and atmosphere. Warm colors like red, orange, and yellow could create excitement and warmth, while blue and green could bring calmness and balance. He carefully arranged colors so they worked together in harmony, almost like music. One of the most striking examples of his color use can be seen in his painting, The Red Room, 1908, where large areas of bright red dominate the composition. The intense color fills the space and creates a strong emotional effect. Rather than using shadows and complex details, he relied on bold color contrasts to give life to the scene. Matisse once said that he wanted his art to be like a comfortable armchair for the mind, something that brings peace and pleasure. His confident and expressive use of bright colors became one of his greatest artistic signatures and influenced generations of modern artists. Fact 5. The Dance, one of his most famous paintings. One of Henri Matisse's most famous and celebrated works is The Dance, La Danse, painted in 1910. This large and striking painting shows 5 figures holding hands and dancing in a circle against a simple background of bright green grass and deep blue sky. The movement and energy of the dancers are powerful, and Matisse used bold, flat colors to create a sense of rhythm and joy. The dance is not just a picture of people dancing, it is a celebration of life, freedom, and emotion. Matisse simplified the human forms, avoiding realistic details so that the viewer focuses on the movement and harmony of the composition. The red bodies of the dancers contrast vividly with the blue and green background, creating an intense visual impact that feels alive and energetic. The painting was originally commissioned by Russian art collector Sergei Shchukin to decorate his Moscow home. Matisse saw it as an experiment in combining color, shape, and emotion to create a work that could communicate joy and vitality without relying on traditional techniques. Today, the dance is considered one of Matisse's masterpieces and a symbol of Fauvism. Its bold colors, dynamic composition, and emotional power continue to inspire artists and art lovers around the world, showing how a simple idea, people dancing in a circle, can become an icon of modern art. Fact 6. Late years and paper cutouts, collages. In the later years of his life, Henri Matisse faced serious health problems that made painting with brushes difficult. Despite these challenges, he did not stop creating art. Instead, he developed a new technique called cutouts, where he would cut shapes from brightly colored paper and arrange them into compositions, creating vibrant collages. This method allowed Matisse to continue expressing his artistic vision, even while confined to a wheelchair. He described this process as drawing with scissors, turning a physical limitation into a creative opportunity. Using this technique, he produced some of his most imaginative and striking works, full of energy, color, and movement. One of his most famous cutouts is Blue Nude 2, 1952, which demonstrates how a few simple shapes and bold colors can create an image that feels alive and powerful. These paper collages were not only a practical solution for his health issues, but also became a revolutionary contribution to modern art. They inspired future artists and showed that creativity could adapt to any circumstance, proving that even limitations can lead to extraordinary innovation. Matisse's late cutouts are celebrated today as masterpieces, highlighting his lifelong commitment to color, form, and emotional expression, even when traditional painting was no longer possible. Fact 7. Work in painting, sculpture, and graphic arts. Henri Matisse was not only a painter but also a versatile artist who explored many forms of art throughout his life. While he is best known for his paintings, he also worked extensively in sculpture and graphic arts, showing his creativity in 3 dimensions as well as on flat surfaces. In sculpture, Matisse often focused on the human form, simplifying it into smooth, flowing shapes that emphasized movement and expression rather than realistic detail. His sculptures, like his paintings, reflected his fascination with rhythm, balance, and emotion. Even small pieces in clay or bronze reveal his careful attention to shape and form. Matisse also created prints, drawings, and illustrations, experimenting with techniques like lithography and etching. These graphic works allowed him to explore ideas quickly and play with composition, line, and contrast. Often he would combine ideas from his drawings into his paintings or cutout compositions, showing how interconnected his art forms were. By working across different mediums, Matisse expanded the possibilities of modern art. He demonstrated that an artist could express ideas not just through painting, but also through sculpture, drawing, and other visual forms. This versatility helped him remain innovative throughout his life and influenced generations of artists to experiment beyond a single medium. Fact 8. His influence on modern art. Henri Matisse's art had a profound and lasting impact on modern art. By breaking away from traditional techniques and focusing on bold colors, simplified forms, and emotional expression, he helped redefine what art could be in the 20th century. His fearless experimentation encouraged other artists to explore new styles and challenge conventional rules. Through Fauvism, his revolutionary use of bright and expressive colors inspired movements like Expressionism, abstract art, and even pop art decades later. Matisse showed that color and composition could communicate emotion directly without relying on realistic representation. His cutouts, created later in life, also influenced contemporary artists by demonstrating that innovation could come from simple materials and imaginative thinking. Beyond technique, Matisse's philosophy of art as a source of joy, comfort, and beauty changed how people viewed art itself. Museums, galleries, and artists around the world continue to study and draw inspiration from his work. In many ways, Matisse helped pave the way for modern art to become more expressive, personal, and emotionally powerful, leaving a legacy that still resonates today. Fact 9. Relationship with Pablo Picasso. Throughout his life, Henri Matisse had a unique and complex relationship with Pablo Picasso, one of the other greatest artists of the 20th century. Their connection was a mixture of friendly rivalry and mutual respect. Both artists were pushing the boundaries of modern art at the same time, and they often inspired and challenged each other to explore new ideas. Although their styles were very different, Matisse with his bold colors and simplified forms, Picasso with his cubist experiments, their work shared a common goal: breaking away from tradition and redefining what art could express. Sometimes they competed for recognition and commissions, which pushed each of them to innovate and improve their techniques. Despite this rivalry, they also respected each other deeply. Matisse once said that Picasso is the only artist who can make me feel my own limitations. They exchanged letters, visited each other's studios, and even painted portraits of one another. This unique combination of competition and friendship became a driving force in modern art, as both artists continuously learned from and responded to each other's work. Their relationship shows how two creative minds can challenge, inspire, and elevate each other, leaving a lasting impact on the art world. Fact 10. Death and Legacy. 1954. Henri Matisse passed away on November 3, 1954, at the age of 84 in Nice, France. By the time of his death, he had already become one of the most celebrated and influential artists of the 20th century. His long and productive life left behind a vast body of work, including paintings, sculptures, prints, drawings, and his famous paper cutouts. Even in his final years, despite illness and physical limitations, Matisse continued to innovate and create art that inspired joy and emotion. His death marked the end of an era in modern art, but his influence did not fade. Museums around the world now hold his works in their permanent collections, and art students continue to study his techniques and philosophy. Matisse's legacy lies not only in the beauty of his artworks, but also in the revolutionary ways he expanded the possibilities of color, form, and creativity. His approach showed future generations that art is not just about representing reality, but about expressing emotion, imagination, and the joy of life. His passing in 1954 closed a remarkable chapter in art history, but his vibrant spirit and artistic vision continue to inspire millions around the globe. Henri Matisse's life and work represent a remarkable journey of creativity, innovation, and courage. From his humble beginnings in a small town in northern France to becoming one of the most celebrated artists of the 20th century, Matisse constantly pushed the boundaries of what art could be. He transformed simple ideas like color, shape, and line into powerful expressions of emotion and beauty. Through Fauvism, his revolutionary use of bold and vibrant colors inspired entire generations of artists to think beyond traditional methods and embrace experimentation. Matisse's art was not confined to one medium or style, whether through painting, sculpture, drawing, or his late-life paper cutouts. He demonstrated that creativity is limitless. Even in the face of illness and physical challenges, he continued to innovate, showing that the human spirit and imagination can overcome any obstacle. His works are not only visually striking, but also emotionally resonant, bringing joy, comfort, and inspiration to viewers around the world. Moreover, Matisse's relationships with other artists, such as his rivalry and friendship with Pablo Picasso, illustrate how interaction, competition, and dialogue can drive artistic growth. His legacy is a testament to the idea that art is not just about reproducing reality. It is about expressing life, feeling, and the joy of being human. Today, Henri Matisse is remembered not only as a master of color and form, but also as a visionary who reshaped modern art. His influence continues to ripple across the art world, inspiring painters, designers, and creators of all kinds. The vibrant energy, simplicity, and emotional depth of his work ensure that his vision will live on for generations, reminding us that art has the power to transform, uplift, and connect us all.